Aries, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description below, or you can just send me an email. All right, my friends, let's get started here. What is the energy around Aries for the week ahead? Energy around Aries for the week ahead. This is the Storyteller Oracle deck that I created, and it always gives me great messages, but I haven't been using it that much, so I thought I would use it for this week. Let's see, what's the first card in this story for Aries? There it is. Okay, so Aries, there's something that you've been trying to control, and let's see how that's working out for you. Okay, it's making you feel rather trapped, and that's creating the challenge for you this week. And whatever it is that you're trying to control, or whatever it is that you have got yourself convinced of, it's false. Like it's kind of giving me illusion vibes, and that might be why you're trapped. You might be under this false illusion that you can control something that's outside of your control. Aha, it's coming to an end. That's why. So you've been trying to control an ending, maybe trying to make it so that it doesn't end, or perhaps you, oh yes, entanglement. Interesting. So you're maybe entangled in a situation here. You're feeling trapped. You're feeling caught up in something that's about to end, and you might be trying to hang on to it. Let's get the rest of your cards out here. I'm just curious where this is going. Okay, so what I can see here is that whatever it is that you've got yourself sort of mixed up in, it almost feels like you've gotten yourself mixed up in something. It's impacting your confidence as a creator, as someone who's you're trying to create something, but you've got yourself in a situation, or you're in a current experience where you feel like you have to try to control something, and it seems like it's outside of your control. And I think on sort of a more within feeling level, you understand that. On some level within, you understand that this is outside of your control, and you sort of feel like maybe you need to surrender, but that's posing a challenge as well. I'm seeing the air energy come up here, so that's Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So that might be impacting. You might be in a situation that involves an air sign here. The other parts of this story seem to be affecting so we've got your solar plexus, your heart chakra. It's so interesting looking at these cards. It really feels like there's something something you feel, but you're unable to sort of surrender to those knowings and feelings. And so you're trying to control something, and it feels like that's false. Like you won't be able to control it. It's outside of your control. And there's a part of you that's being impacted as a creator, as an artist, as a visionary. You're almost willfully blinded here from the truth. And it seems to be something that is really affecting your feelings, your heart space, your ability to let go, your ability to surrender, your ability to forgive. And I feel like you're sort of moving into uncharted territory here. I feel like seeing this unfamiliar card is an interesting one, because it always makes me feel like you're being guided to go somewhere you don't know, somewhere you've never been, somewhere that's unfamiliar. And that could be figurative or literal. You might sort of be in a situation where what is being asked of you is to surrender to an ending, and hanging on to it is sort of like your ego is hanging on to it, your human personality is hanging on to it, but almost like your intuitive self, your more subconscious self knows that this must be released, that this entanglement is not serving you anymore, and that if anything, it seems to be impacting your own creative path. And it's interesting, seeing the heart chakra in reverse here really makes me feel like forgiveness and release are your only option with respect to how to get out of this, what feels like a trap. You know what I mean? And you feel like you've got to get yourself out of this somehow, you know, like, or you've got to fix this somehow. And it's almost like, well, it's not really for you to fix. That's false, you know, like that's not where this is guiding you to go. This is coming into a completion or into an ending. You might be moving towards transformation in this dynamic, but ultimately this entanglement is no longer serving you. And that entanglement card always makes me feel like we're all connected, but there are moments where we have to surrender certain connections because in some space it's just creating a misalignment in some way. And I feel like you could be dealing with an air sign. Again, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And it's interesting to look at these other cards because I feel like you know that this isn't going to be within your control, and that really surrender is the only option for you, Aries, when it comes to what I'm picking up on here. Oh, bottom of the deck is transformation. So something is about to shift, and I feel like you may be trying to control that shift and finding that you're every time you try, you get a little bit more tangled up in the web, and it doesn't make anything clearer. And I think it's because this is really outside of your control. Okay, my friends, let's see what the tarot cards will reveal for you, Aries. Okay, see, you have this opportunity to turn things around, but it's not going to be by taking control over something. You know, it's interesting. Five of Pentacles in reverse is a wonderful energy to see because it does suggest that there's going to be a turnaround here. And it feels like this turnaround comes from surrender. Seeing the Death card in reverse here, which is sort of furthering that feeling, seeing the Death card in reverse, that you need to let go, Aries. You need to let go. You need to surrender to this, because right now you're in a place where it's like it's so the alignment is out, right? The energies are not balanced. They're not in alignment. And you're sort of caught in this trap. I got that Elvis song in my head now. Caught in a trap. Can't go back. I don't know how it goes. But that might be what's going on, because I love you too much, baby. Right? Isn't that how the rest of the song goes? That might be what's happening here. That there is some attachment that you know doesn't serve you. And you know there's nothing you can do to change it or control it. And what you're being guided to do here is just release it, surrender, forgiveness. Those are all the energies coming through. And this is starting to create blocks for you in other areas of your life when I see that Artist card come through. And it feels like this has got to transform. It's not going to... you're not going to be able to sort of make changes here. This is about surrender. And I'm seeing the Fool and the Hermit come out for you both in reverse, which tells me that you're sort of needing to look at things from a different perspective and to release any fear of surrender here, and to really try to integrate this experience on a level that creates a new beginning for you. You know, that creates something where you're not out of alignment with your higher self. I'm sort of seeing this Two of Cups as being you and your higher self trying to come to some kind of agreement about what to do here. And I say that because I see here so much intuitive energy, and yet it's all reversed. Like, it makes me feel like you're not trusting yourself. You're not sitting in a place of empowerment when it comes to trusting yourself. I think this is creating sort of you know, when you feel trapped, when you feel like something is got you, and you're trying to control it to get yourself out of this trap, it's like we get too caught up in the story and not realize what the story's trying to teach us about ourselves. You know what I mean by that, Aries? Like, you could be getting too caught up in what's going on instead of really seeing things from a perspective that shows you the whole picture. Because I feel like you're looking at this from a very limited perspective because you're trying to influence it, you're trying to control it, you're trying to direct it. And it's not something that is within your control to direct. And so you're getting these messages of sort of like, look at it from a different perspective. Things are going to turn around. You need to surrender. You need to allow this to be as it is, you know, and there's something very freeing about that kind of surrender where you just accept. Excuse me. Okay, let's clarify this. 5 of Pentacles is here. Let's have a look. 2 of Wands. Yeah. This is about leaving something behind. This is about choosing a new adventure. This could be about leaving your comfort zone behind too. This could be your surrender, where it's time to move into a space where you're sort of accepting that an ending is near, that there is something here that no longer serves you to try to figure out even, you know. It's almost like you feel it, you know it, and you know you're about to go somewhere unfamiliar because maybe it's very familiar to you to try to control things, to try to untangle things, to you know, not just, I'm almost getting this vibe of like acknowledging a truth here, not being willfully blinded, right? This hidden card is interesting. It makes me feel like you've got a blindfold on and you just don't want to see what is being shown to you from the bigger picture. You know, the bigger picture can be quite revealing when we take that higher perspective to try to integrate things. Now, sorry, my deck just got all crazy. There we go. Okay. So what I'm seeing here, here's your ending. 10 of Swords. But I feel like you're ready for this. It's in reverse because I think this is not what you want, frankly. I think that what your vision for whatever this could be is different than it's coming to an end. And I think that's where you're trying to maybe keep it moving, even though everything here is suggesting it's time for a new beginning, it's time for transformation. Trust your higher self. Trust that feeling of lack of harmony as being an indication that this isn't for you anymore. And, you know, there's the Ace of Swords in reverse, which says you're holding in a truth. You're not being honest with yourself about something here, Aries. And it feels like you, again, need to look at things from a higher perspective and almost sort of recognize when you're trying to control something, and that sort of that desire to control something can kind of become obsessive. It can kind of become a compulsion. This Devil card is showing me that this is a pattern of behavior. This is a pattern of behavior where you're maybe trying to take control of things that are outside of your control, or you're trying to keep something as being part of your energy when it's not serving you. What's really necessary here is this, we see this Page of Cups, which is a messenger. You're getting a sign, a message, a synchronicity that you're meant to transform. This is a rebirth. This is a new opportunity. This is a new opportunity in the heart space. We saw the heart chakra in reverse. You may need to forgive and surrender, forgive and let go. You know what I mean? I almost feel like saying forgive and forget and just carry on. This is not for you anymore. What an interesting reading. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Aries. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. Take care. Sending you so much love.